just like that, we're back into Dota.
Dire team ban.
Lone Druid, Dazzle, Lich, Faceless. No, Faceless Void's not first pick yet. Soon though.
Who are the
Grim.
quote
Oh,
unquote
of course.
OPs?
The Grim Stroke, the old Stroker.
Turn to ban.
But I think we saw some people doing different. I saw some different strats in South America because I got here early today. I couldn't sleep super long, and I watched a couple of their games. And I saw a fair amount of Timbersaw. I thought I saw,
Really?
which was interesting.
Damn, you dig that, don't you?
I love it.
You
I
love your
that hero.
Timbersaw.
I tried it yesterday. It didn't go as well, but I liked the Holy
10
Locket on it.
seconds remaining.
Kind of a cool little build. He amplifies the region.
Sanj and Kaya.
Sanj Kaya.
Is Kaya and
Seconds
Sanj?
remaining.
Sanj. It doesn't matter.
Kaya Sanj.
Sanj. Sanj.
You
Whatever.
Very
French now?
Frenchy.
Oh,
Bring
yeah,
out
I'm
your inner
Canadian.
French Canadian there.
man.
Yep.
Come on. It's my second
Sanj
language.
and
But yeah, it's like a really cool item for it, where it's like
Dire
you get a
team
little
ban.
bit of magic resistance. If you get like level 7 maxed out reactive stacks and a Holy Locket, you have 50 HP regen
nice.
at level 7.
Up from like 36.
So wait, he
right?
got Holy. Did he also get the Sanj and Kaya?
No,
Or
he didn't
no,
get
okay.
that. I didn't. He actually
that's-
he went like
That seems
Bloodstone.
kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, that sounds.
I think Sanj and Kaya is a little bit.
Fnatic.
That doesn't sound like a
Turn to
Timbersaw.
It's
Sorry.
not that great.
Yeah.
That was a lyrical
I was like,
Timbersaw
what?
item.
Oh, okay.
He was low. I asked him how he felt about it. He's like, not too good. The game doesn't feel too good right now. So the Wisp. I
No.
mean, Wisp is a given.
We call Sanj and Yasuo S and Y, so it's S and K then?
S and K?
Okay. Or K and S.
K and S.
I don't know. And then
Let's
the
just
other
look
one
real
is what? Y
Oh, I
and
can't do
K?
that.
10 seconds.
Actually, I'm not
remaining.
going
Y and
to.
K?
That shows up on here.
K and Y?
It's going to get so confusing if they add another sword to
5
the game.
seconds remaining.
It's like, yeah,
Dire
because
team
Sanj
ban.
and Yasuo has been around so long, so everyone's used to calling it S and Y.
S and
but
Y, yeah.
K and S just sounds. I don't know.
Not
Come
quite
on,
as
S
nice.
and K.
No,
don't know,
I think they
yeah.
should remove it from the game. It doesn't. The acronym doesn't sound great.
Yeah, bad acronym. Item deleted.
Look, if there's going to be any items removed from the game right now,
Yeah.
it's going to be Wraith Bands and Bracers.
No, that's
That's
true.
what needs to happen.
that is
I was
accurate.
thinking about like earlier today. Like, is this really what we want to have
10
happen? That like you
seconds
just get a
remaining.
billion Bracers and Wraith Bands? It seems
God,
bad.
These items
5 seconds
are a key
remaining.
part of Dota history. They cannot be removed. The difference is, Iron Talon. That was a new item.
Right.
Get rid of it. Poor Man's Shield. That was some new stuff too. Maybe it was in Dota 1. I don't know, but no one cares.
Who cares?
Ring of Aquila. That was a newer item as well. I think that was maybe like a 2014
But we didn't remove
item.
the
or
Bassi
so.
and the Wraith Band, though. Those are still there.
Yeah, Passy was always there. Wraith Band's always been there.
Yeah.
Null Tally, that's a historic item. Ever remember, the Null Tally 1v1 show match?
Yeah. Congratulations. You can buy
Yes.
null tallies. Yeah.
You
Relic-
remove Null Tally,
Relic
you're
versus
removing Dota
Arteezy.
history.
Yeah, I agree. You can't remove that. That is an integral part of our identity as a game and as people as well. So yeah, I agree. Come on, Lyrical.
I think that I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I'm looking at this and I'm
5
just feeling like
seconds
so
remaining.
much pain and anguish.
That's
Seeing,
true.
like,
Oh, you can nerf him.
Listen,
Make him garbage, just don't delete him.
The
there
thing
were
is,
a
when I-
Morphling with 5 Wraith Bands in his inventory today. This is what I saw. I was like, what the heck is happening here?
5 Wraith Bands and a lifesteal, maybe.
This was a pro match. Like, what the hell? And it
5
they
sounds a
won.
bit excessive.
It's a bit excessive. I'll give you that. For
Oh wait,
sure.
no, it was 4 and a wand. 4 and a wand.
Okay.
You know, I actually was thinking the other day.
10
Like, do you
seconds
want
remaining.
a wand over a Wraith Band? Do you really? Or a Bracer? You just get so much
5
in
seconds
stats.
remaining.
Ooh.
I think if
What's
if you're
the
an
point?
edgy carry, yeah, you want it. Like that
What's the
attack
point
speed.
in having? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Wraith
Dire
Band.
team
Yeah.
pick.
Because what's the point of having a wand when you have so much HP that you're not going to use those wand charges for anything? You should go back to base.
Or you lifesteal because you're attacking so
Yeah,
fast.
that's true. Yeah.
5 Wraith Band.
Because one only
Morbid
gives you
Mass
like
meta.
2 stats, right?
So maybe
Yeah.
that's the answer then. If everybody's getting tanky and becoming like these huge, indomitable forces, you just get like an agi carry that builds lifesteal, and then that's your answer to like the big tanky guys. Maybe.
Survive longer, yeah. I mean, I feel like if you don't build into Wraith Bands and Bracers, you just can't fight when they're pushing your early towers. They gain map control, and then you just lose because they're farming more of the map than you are. Even though they have Bracers that they need to sell to buy other items, like the towers are so important to take. I've had so many games where people aren't building Bracers and Wraith Bands. It feels like the enemy team runs at you, and you just lose those towers. And then, I mean, everybody knows when you lose 3 tier 3s and you have no tier 3, or sorry, 3 tier 1s, and then you have no tier 1s, like the game is significantly harder.
Because all there's just no other cost-effective items you can really buy these days. Like, or if you're trying to save up for something, it's not going to end well.
The thing is, the cost-effective items used to build into stuff.
Yeah.
You build it into
drums.
Drums. You build it into
5
Vlads.
seconds remaining.
Vlads, Aquila. You build it into Veil of Discord. But the thing is, if you're not building into these items, why not just buy more of the cost-effective items?
Well, that's why I thought that they were going to be getting a bunch of crowns. I thought crowns is going to be the answer, and then you get like a
those like
Crowns just don't give you enough.
yeah,
right?
those if you look at Branch is effective, but then if you look at Circlet, like Circlet is terrible for how much it costs. You can get more damage, you can get more HP for less, and you have the slots for it in the early game. And then if you look at Crown, it's even worse. Like as these single stat items scale up, or these plus to all stats items scale up, like they're terrible for the cost. Like, Ultimate Orb is one of the less cost-effective items in Dota. It's terrible. It's just that it builds into good stuff. Like that's the issue with replacing Crown, where all of these bracers and null talismans used to be. That's why we're not seeing Veil of Discords and Vlads and these things being bought. Nothing builds into them. Nothing that's cost effective builds into them.
The other thing we're also seeing less of early game is upgraded boots. Like these phase boots treads just don't seem quite as potent in the laning stage like they used to be. Maybe
you get the same percentage movement speed from the regular boots,
Yeah.
right?
No, you get a little bit extra for certain ones, obviously, and like you
Tranquils.
get
Tranquils are higher.
and then whatever I think you get a little bit more for treads too, don't you? Am I
Do you?
crazy? I might be
10
crazy.
seconds remaining.
Maybe 5 more.
Everybody that I see with
Oh, no,
treads
not 5
seems
more.
really
the
slow.
percent base now. What we're talking about.
5 seconds
I
remaining.
my personal feeling on the boots, on the whole boots thing, is that phase boots just aren't that effective on range heroes, and
No.
then treads just aren't that great on a lot of ranged heroes either. So you just go regular brown boots.
Brown boots, and yeah, instead of upgrading your boots, you just buy 2 wraith bands.
Yeah, exactly.
You can upgrade your boots, you can get 2 wraith bands.
And then you can
it's a
build
no-brainer.
into bots
Yeah,
later.
and then you have an Ember Spirit on your team, basically. Yeah.
And you're going double wraith band anyways, and then you just get the 3rd and 4th wraith band, so you're good.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong. I need to not buy boots.
He said
Forget
that.
boots altogether.
He said that yesterday.
Skywrath Mage, null talismans.
It's true.
Didn't need boots.
Congratulations. You can buy null tallies.
Oh, it was Guardian Greaves gives you 2% extra.
Oh, I didn't know
Look
that.
out, guys.
Now they do.
That was a buff. Maybe?
That's actually kind of cool. Yeah, that's
Or
a
was that
buff.
recent?
Well, it's
yeah.
17%. It's
Okay,
like-
that's cool.
I mean, that's still kind of cool.
Yeah.
Greaves
10
wasn't like a
seconds
super
remaining.
popular item in the previous patch. It was basically against Silencer. People would build that item
5 seconds
if
remaining.
you're Magnus.
So what do we got? We got Fnatic playing their opening series. They, I think, had a disappointing end to the KL Major. I think they had some losses where they just didn't play well.
Yeah.
So even though they got top 8, I think it was a probably unhappy kind of circumstance for them.
Fnatic's turn.
We'll see how they do here.
Lena.
Got to be favorites to not just win this series, but to get out of into the major.
Yeah.
Boom ID, team that's always been around, Indonesian squad, some good talent on there. This is the team where In Your Dream got his start, although he moved on to greener pastures.
I hear a lot of complaints about Boom ID. People say they should be directly
10
invited to all
seconds
these
remaining.
qualifiers, and they don't get kind of the respect they deserve. That's a very common
5
thing that I hear.
seconds
Like these guys
remaining.
always have to go through opens, which hey, means they're a pretty strong team if they're constantly making their way through opens.
Yeah, they're a team that when they had In Your Dream, they sometimes got those invites because he was such a big popular name and he was having the guy who's rank 1 on the SA leaderboards. You're just suddenly on the radar more. And then he left the team, and I think everyone just assumed like, oh, they're not good anymore. Their star player left, and they were actually not an amazing team with him. They've gotten better and had better results since he left.
Yeah.
At the same time, In Your Dream has had better results since he left with Tigers. He's done fantastic, but it's like both teams were better for him leaving.
Faceless Void.
So I was wondering what Fnatic were going to be doing with their carry position, because you look at like Lich, Brewmaster running at your face. This seems terrifying. I think that it solves some of the issues. How many times did we see in that other game the Faceless Void who just kept on getting out and away when they would jump in that top lane?
A lot of times.
He knew to buy his Wraith Bands.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's so funny because 10% HP every time
5
we'd look at his
seconds
inventory.
remaining.
Oh, he has another Wraith Band from the last time.
And he was doing a lot of damage too with that bash
was,
talent. He just kept on hitting it.
Yeah, he crushed this lane. That
The
was
new-
fun to see.
The new Void Bash is incredibly strong. I really like it. It's kind of fun too. Just the fact that it can proc itself too. I don't know. Maybe I have a gambling problem, but I like the RNG. I think it makes it fun.
I want to find out the odds of like a triple bash. You know what I mean?
Well,
like you get one and then the second.
It's 25% for the first bash, right? So the next one would be 0.25 times 0.25.
Is there the pseudo RNG stuff affecting it though?
That's the
It's
question
a different
that
unit,
I
maybe, so maybe
guess,
not.
I guess that's true. I mean,
I don't know.
with pseudo RNG, it's still supposed to be like more consistent over a large
true.
period of time. So
Yeah. So that would theoretically
But
not change
relatively
it.
the same, yeah.
But that's the thing, is that would your secondary self that's hitting count as your first self, or does it count as
Does
a
it have its
second
own, does it have its
person?
own
Is
pseudo
random?
RNG?
Exactly, that's what I'm wondering.
Does it have a soul?
Oh,
Is it a real?
You talked about
boy?
getting deep earlier.
Speaking
the
of
comedy,
random, this is quite possibly the most RNG-based hero in Dota, Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, PA's coming back in. This has definitely been
10
like my fourth or
seconds
fifth PA
remaining.
pick. I feel like in the new patch I've seen in different competitive games.
She feels really
5
strong right now.
seconds remaining.
I think the increased damage on her ultimate, the fact that she can, I honestly think the increased damage on her ultimate is really all that it took to make her pretty strong. 'Cause I think before the patch, people were picking this hero a lot more. I saw Jo was playing a lot of this hero, and the guy's like rank 7 or something. So if somebody can grind to top 10 with a hero, it's not going to be a bad hero. And then it was getting picked up a little bit more in competitive too, maybe like on the tier 2 scene. But even still, like, she was coming into the meta and then gets buffed as well. And now she has the invis too that comes with the blur, which is pretty cool.
and so the thing that I like about this too is
Gaia
talking
Jean
about like the fact that
Templar
right
Assassin.
nowadays you're lacking a lot of damage in a lot of these heroes. It's sort of the main thing that people are looking for. But the other thing that's sort of missing is that there's less evasion in the game because Solar Crest's no longer granting that. So there's a couple of like little things that in the main like whole Dota sphere you're missing that PA gives you.
10 seconds
It's part of the
remaining.
reason why I like it too. But the TA take-in answer to the Lina. Do you just send
5
Lina to a
seconds
side lane?
remaining.
I've heard from a bunch of mid
Fnatic's
laners
turn
that
to ban.
there's a way you can play with the Lina, like you go for the stun first, that you can actually beat a TA in a 1v1.
We started seeing that more too. I think some of the last couple tournaments where Linas would go mid against TA and not lose the lane. They wouldn't win necessarily, but it'd
You
be a
wouldn't get
lot
like
more.
you wouldn't get dumpstered.
Yeah, it was like some even CS matchup. I think I remember Armel was playing the Lina side, actually solo killed the
10
TA in one
seconds
matchup where
remaining.
they were going even on CS. TA made a mistake, got a solo kill, but even before that, it was like a very even
5
1v1.
seconds
Yeah.
And I think that was against someone really good, like no one. Like it wasn't like he was just playing against an inferior mid.
I don't mind the Lina not as a mid in this game though. This is like this hero is sometimes picked as a support when you can have things in the side lanes to set up for your stun. I think Phantom
Fnatic's
Assassin's
turn
pretty
to
good
pick.
to set up for the stun. It's not guaranteed, obviously, but it's something. Like she can sit in the trees, and if PA throws a dagger, Lina can throw a stun. Brew Lich obviously sets up for the Lina stun very nicely with the double slow. Like if she runs to either of these lanes, then if you pick like a mid laner that does well against TA and then also sets up for the Lina, then you know it's a decent support.
And you think about too, like sort of in the mid-game team fights, you can still
10
be an egg
seconds
hitter even on
remaining.
support Lina, because if they are committing onto your Lina, the sort of like
5
heavy
seconds
forms of
remaining.
commitment, either a blink TA on top of you or a Centaur's blinking on top of you,
Chrono or
that
something.
means it's not on top of one of your other cores.
Yeah, you're pretty happy with that, I think. The one thing with the PA versus the Phoenix too right now, like you said, Lina's an egg hitter. PA can actually leap to something else and then use the attack speed to hit the egg now too. So she's actually quite good against undying against Phoenix with the buff to her her jump.
That's super nifty.
It's pretty cool. With PA and TA too, they have some minus armor stuff. TA has the meld strike. PA has the talent. It got recently nerfed, the PA talent, because she was very, very strong in the last letter patch. But basically, a lot of these heroes that have minus armor, the minus armor is still very high. And the way that the armor calculation was changed was that armor will now reduce the physical reduction by a lot more. So PA's minus armor, TA's minus armor is better than it was in the previous patch, despite the number not actually changing, simply because the calculation has been changed. Which is another reason why I think PA has done so much damage, because she has the armor reduction talent. It was 4, now it's 3. Okay, so they are doing Lina support. They're doing Razor versus TA, the El Clasico counter. Doesn't take off the refraction charges, but it destroys her mid because you just drain all of her damage.
Should be interesting to see. I saw this, I think, picked up by LGD the other day, so definitely here that's maybe coming back a little bit. Some slight changes.
Yeah.
And seeming a bit stronger, more fun, I think, to watch and play. But like a kind of dull hero with the old toolkit.
Mm-hmm. One of those heroes that was one of the boring heroes that got like a lot of the heroes that were boring in the past got changed, and they're actually really fun now.
Like Lich,
Coddle,
Razor,
Lich,
Coddle,
Razor. But the Razor is definitely a good hero. I think on Dota Buff the win rate went up by 5% or something. I've seen a lot of top carry players playing the Razor. Just the fact that he can provide his own disable is kind of insane. Like it's the same thing with Lich. Lich now provides his own disable. A lot of the problem with picking a Razor or Lich is like you're picking these heroes that do a lot of stuff. You know, what other hero has damage steal in the game? But you don't have a stun. Stuns are just the best thing in Dota. Like in a lot of games, stuns are the best, right? Slows are close second. Slows are good. Now Razor actually can provide his own disable, so that is really, really good for him, especially because he literally wants to run next to people and suck their damage. So, interested in seeing it in competitive.
I'm excited. Game number 1 right around the corner. I do feel like I'm liking Fnatic's draft a little bit more. We didn't talk too much about the Shadow Demon, but I think that this is the type of hero that could be pretty good against a Razor too. Like if you're able to sort of disrupt as he's trying to chase somebody down.
Yeah, that's true.
Might be one of the ways to get away and just get the heck out of there with like a Centaur ulti, and you're good.
Actually, yeah, Centaur. I mean, it's a weird counter, but Centaur is considered to be a counter to Razor because Razor commits, and I get you're only committing with the damage steal, and that's not a huge commitment of spells, but Razor is a very committal hero, and Centaur is just total anti-commitment. It's like the same thing as Centaur versus Lifestealer. Lifestealer, not a cooldown-based hero, but you commit hard, and you can just get out to, you know, it's a decent counter, basically.
Nice. Well, we'll see how things go as we hop ourselves into the game. Should be pointing at you, Gabe. You're the one with the computer.
I mean, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just chilling.
Oh my god, look at this Razor's items.
He's gone the triple.
He knows what his life is.
He said it. Circlets aren't efficient, you know. Not good use of your gold. Let's get that +9 damage from triple slippers.
Oh, god damn. It's 9 damage. It's so much.
Oh no! Can you get away? Oh, he's gonna get caught. And
boots on Centaur.
Well, that'll do it.
I bet the mid getting the last hit. Suddenly this mid lane looks a whole lot more manageable as his next Wraithband is almost completed.
What a prediction from them. Just running, catching him with the ward. They somehow knew he was going to ward there.
To battle.
They're just going to keep on sticking around here, apparently. I mean, you actually can't walk to lane right now if you're PA, I don't think, right? Like, if they just stick around here?
Are they going to go behind the tower?
I like that they're playing the high ground. They're really abusing these map changes. I mean, everybody is, but...
I feel like I'd like to see Fnatic just walk up north and they know that the PA is going to be there.
The battle begins.
Looks like Ice wants to, maybe.
Yeah, he's got the boots and everything, so very mobile and able to get on top of people a bit easier.
Such an Ice play. God. What a dick. Like, it's just so annoying if you're a safe laner to have to deal with somebody doing this. You just have to TP.
Oh, I love the PA taunt, though. Yeah, and he's going to TP immediately. So they're out of there. And that should mean that they'll be able to escape, get to lane fine.
Oh, courier snipe attempt, but it's not coming out.
That's a nice heads-up mid laner play, where you just wait until you see both supports on the map before you send the courier. A lot of mid laners just do that.
Oh, the courier is going out though.
Oh,
oh it's as
he TP'd.
He didn't.
God.
I mean, he wasn't going to get it on the way out. He was going to get it on the way back because you need to get that vision of it. But
yeah,
right.
He was just a tiny bit impatient. And they'll get the D ward. So because they got that first blood and saw him warding, they're going to get a D ward out of it as well, which is really nice.
I've seen this, like, we've seen this happen in the game yesterday where it was like Lich +1 versus Shadow Shaman +1 in the mid lane. This seems just more common. With I'm not 100% sure why, but people like to dual lane mid.
Yeah, I mean, it's often when there is like a straight 1v1 mismatch, which the Razor TA kind of is for the TA. It's not exactly an ideal matchup. Yeah. And we also saw it a bit yesterday when I think it was the Morphling mid game where it's like, yeah, it's like this Morph is just going to crush this lane 1v1, so let's make sure we send our support, and then because you send yours, the other team matches and sends theirs.
Yeah. Seems like such a common trend to send to just do lane the old mid lane.
Yeah,
A lot of these mismatches happening. I guess that just speaks to like how strong the last pick is. Then again, this TA wasn't even last pick, but how strong like the counter pick is. Teams just won't let a counter happen in a game. Like a straight counter. Why put yourself into a losing situation like that?
well, and I guess it's sort of also like, what was the reasoning that they would let it happen before? Because it felt like you were still getting something out of the mid lane, I guess. Like, or the rotations wouldn't really amount to a kill.
I guess it's like the other lanes would do a lot better too.
Yeah.
You'd have some Terrorblade that would just lose the lane and then go jungle, so it didn't really matter that much. Put a support, get XP in the lane.
Oh, Ice going to be slowed down, so he can't really find that kill there.
The fact that slows 35% at all levels is kind of crazy. I believe it's 35%. Yeah, it's quite a lot.
Makes a very good value point early on for your laning stage when you go for kills.
Yeah, for sure.
So
No matter what, it's going to provide the same disable.
The big thing that I've been wanting to see out of Shadow Demon picks recently has been like the stacking multiple camps at once. You know, that feels to me like one of the best parts of it. We're seeing already he's creating illusions of himself and then heading off to the jungle just to get even this medium camp working for his TA.
Yeah, that is really cool. Can you do 2 at once? Well, I guess those illusions are going to despawn. But
Right, but like even with Shadow Poison, you can go and start
sure.
doing like 4 at once on some camps.
it's a really nice way for the TA to catch up in this matchup.
Bottom? No, not gonna be able to get him.
Spurs having a great time down bottom. 20 last hits. Void with just the 9.
2 points in the E ability. I see a lot of people maxing that now, just because it's so effective for trading.
You get nothing.
Let's see, Jab's gonna get another stack here while TA clears out this camp. And looks like you won't be able to get the stack simultaneously, and Ancient's not done.
It's interesting that they're stacking the jungle camp, just like wanting the TA to get the levels earlier, because the Ancient camp, it's going to take her a while before she can actually kill those. So they want to give her the early levels, because maybe with the traps mid, she can actually deal with the Razor. And then also, the jungle just gives you more gold now.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ancients are still better, but they'd just rather her have earlier strength.
Ooh, this is cool right here. Fervian gonna try and find
She's
himself
going to
a
steal the
kill.
Oh, she's not going to go for it.
Oh, just needs to back out. Double Edge jumps forward. Fervian trying to find that kill to salve the live, and now turn this one around. They find the finish onto Lich, and Fervian trying to escape. Can't think about turning it back onto DJ if he wants, but it would deed the death of Fervian. Stacking up the poison, it might not be enough to get him out of there regardless. And
I mean, yeah, that's a lot of damage.
That was so smart by Centaur. Ice stood by the creeps, because if he knows if he runs him, he's going to blink past and shoot.
And if he runs the other way, then the Shadow Demon just gets a 5th stack on him and kills him anyway. Giving him absolutely no choice. Death or death.
Arms for the dead.
Is TA just jungling? Yeah, TA he's just chilling in the jungle.
That's the clarity work in.
Like a classic TA play. Just lose the lane, go to jungle.
Well, and because it's all of these smaller camps, he can just clear them out really quickly. So this rotation in from Lina, they're not going to be able to sort of stop the jungling necessarily, because he's already finished it too quickly.
Places his own ward. Nice, nice.
He needs to get his boots, though. Another initiation coming out here. They find themselves. Quick little jump. Fervian trying to walk away. Light strike array. Slow down. Shadow Poison off the mark, but Fervian might still be dead.
Nice dodges on the Shadow Poison. Really nice. He has to solve.
Radiant are scanning.
Be fine.
Not going to have too much further. Definitely a lane I feel like used to see a lot of the Shadow Demon Centaur. The Soul Catcher with the double edge can do so much damage.
But now the Soul Catcher does the, it just reduces your HP by, what is it, 40%?
Yeah.
Also, it's not even, that won't be amped up?
You lose you lose current health.
Yeah.
What is the illusion damage?
That's the illusions that come
If you
out.
kill them, yeah, okay, so yeah, it just makes you lose some of your current health.
That's true.
Very
That's a
weird.
really
But then
weird
again, I mean, you're still reducing their HP. Centaur can stomp.
Yeah,
and then you've double edge. Like, put them to that threshold where they can die. Of course, you have the setup for the Centaur too. That's always going to be effective.
What is happening in this game? It's super weird. Level 6 on Brew. Not quite there for the Void.
3 points in Bash. I'm seeing Voids all max out the Bash now. Guess it's just very strong
Radiant
for
structures
winning
are
lanes and for farming.
fortified.
And it's even stronger because of the Wraith Band build. So you hit this level 6
Oh,
and
that's true, yeah.
you're not going normally you get your Chrono, you're not going to have any, at best you have treads in the last patch, but now like with a double Wraith Band you actually have some decent attack speed to kill people.
Yeah, and obviously the more you attack, the higher chance you have of bashing.
Yeah.
That was always the issue with Void, is you'd have to get to like the Mask of Madness before you can actually kill somebody.
And that normally doesn't come until like maybe level 8, 9, sometimes even later on.
Yeah. I mean, Brew actually has to be careful down here. Void could possibly kill him if he gets up to level 6.
He has a mango.
Time walk
Good
back.
pop.
Yeah, I feel like he could have maybe tried to go for a last hit into Insta-Chrono there. He got so aggressive that he scared the Brewmaster off the lane, who's going to go Shrine now and look to recoup.
Look at Ice Ice Ice. He's making this like level 4 rotation, 7.5 minutes in, wants to see if he can kill Razor. He knows that this would normally be a time when it'd switch over today, but that extra long cycle, moving into position, they get the slow, gonna be able to find it. The mana, or rather, damage drain is gonna be enough to force it back though.
That is so nice. Just force the rotation.
Whoa. That's aggressive. He has got an Arcane Rune, but it's still a cooldown.
Radiant's
Even with an
middle
Arcane
tower
Rune, it
is
doesn't
under
give you like
attack.
a refresher.
Shadow Demon can imprison himself too. Oh,
Can they
caught
get
Ice
this
Ice
kill?
Ice, but
It's extra damage coming out from the Wind Panda.
he's tranquil
afterwards?
booting
No.
up right now actually, so he's got a decent amount of HP.
They don't get
That
the
was-
tower. Void's fine down here. Look, rotation coming in now with the Chrono. He's going to be able to jump forward and find 3 of them possibly. Is going to just find 2, but that's more than enough. 3 points of this Shadow Poison up on the Brewmaster, and Fnatic just played him.
God damn, that was really, really nice. Just the fact that they, like Ice 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 knew that he wasn't going to get the kill there as soon as the TA the drain and the TA came out. He just wanted to force rotations. The moment he sees the TP, they just back off. And they were so overcommitted to that play that they still used the Panda ulti. Go for the tower with the Panda ulti down. Yeah, that's super efficient play from Fnatic.
Despite losing 2 cores there, though, this game doesn't look that out of hand. Boom ID are pretty even on farm. Net worth-wise, their cores are actually all doing
It's got Midas.
pretty well.
Brew's Midas
Yeah.
too.
This game feels like it's in a pretty even state right now.
This Midas Radiance build seems to be the go-to for Brews now.
Oh.
Just playing more as like a carry.
So Razor did go for the phase boots. It's a weird interaction now. I feel like I guess he could like phase to
Radiant's
the
bottom
hero
tower
that's
is
like
under
behind
attack.
the one that he wants to get close to maybe. But it's only
Right.
900 range.
I mean, the way he wants to drain is like he wants to put the drain, hit, walk forward, hit, walk forward. Like phase boots makes sense. It's just on ranged heroes, it's only 10% extra movement speed, so it's really not all that effective. I guess what other boots are going to be effective on Razor? Do you want the damage that comes from treads? Probably not. The armor from phase boots seems to be,
No.
and the attack speed too, because he has the damage already. You know.
What's his range though? I'm trying to find where
His
range
attack
is.
range?
Yeah.
475.
Okay, so he goes. It's 900 range for the activation of
Radiant's
phase.
bottom
That's the
tower
other
is
one
under
too. That's a
attack.
little bit funky about it. I feel like is that you might break your link accidentally if you're like attacking because you can't get
Radiant's
close
bottom
enough to
tower
him.
has
Maybe
fallen.
you know what I'm talking about.
I think it's just a matter of like making sure not to break the link. Like if you're within 450 range, it'll still do the phase boots. You know, it's just a matter of like making sure that you're not in the attack breaking it. Like that's always a problem on Razor, keeping yourself at that range where you're close enough, but also not breaking or hitting, but also not breaking the link.
Right.
That's always like a problem on the hero, especially against Centaur.
But you're gonna lose your phase movement speed when you like click anywhere else on the map.
I think it's like for 0.5 seconds, but there's no cooldown on it, so it's like basically permanent.
Pervian gets initiated on. They force the
Radiant's
rotation,
bottom
and now
tower is
everybody
under
backs
attack.
out yet again. They have Supernova if they want to stick around here.
Radiant structures are
They're
fortified.
doing a pretty good job protecting this PA's farm up top, but like they really want to try and pressure Fervian out of this lane.
Securing this tower. And they're moving in right now. Jabs has the imprisonment. Good light strike array though. They still find one. See if they can do anything, but it's scary walking up that high ground. And Fervian trying to slow him down, jumping in as a PA. They still have the Supernova available if they need to use it, and oh, it's scary to think about going for it. Ice, Ice,
think they
Ice,
just
not
kill the
able to
eggs.
find the stun. They're just going to be able to kill it off.
too easy for them.
That was interesting. They don't have the Centaur Stampede or what? Did he not have mana?
He used it when they went on the Fervian top.
Oh, okay. All right. That was interesting. I mean, at least they got the tower, but I guess they just weren't expecting such a commitment to defending a tower, which was essentially already dead. At least Abed didn't die. I mean, this guy's like the true carry for this team, really.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think, where Fnatic had their most success at the major was just playing around him more, letting MP be more the space creator.
I really like the Blink build. It's super cool. Looks
Yeah.
like he's not even going for Deso.
Really good against the Razor. Yeah, we're really committing to being like the anti-PA hero. They don't want to just have him have a free game because they can't hit him with the Void and with the TA.
Oh, the Invis.
That new Invis is so cool. Look at that, you can just hit Ancients. He's not taking damage. What a hero.
Pretty cool stuff.
You could do that with Roche before too, before they fixed it.
And they see him.
Dire's top tower
Trying
is
to
under
run through.
attack.
Not quite.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's
That
weird
right
because you
there-
can you can see that the creeps are dying, but
Yeah. That right there is why new PA has a higher win rate. You just have situations like that. Enemy team runs at you, you're just invisible. They would have gotten you in the previous patch, but they're not going to get you now. Like, sure, you walk close to him, it's going to reveal him, but still, you don't have that time to set up if you're smoked. Or even have vision of him. You just see the creeps dying. You don't know where he is.
well, so far so good, I'd say, for Boom ID. You still have to be worried about a Faceless Void eventually, but it's not like they have something along the lines of an Invoker to throw that damage into. TA doesn't always have like the best ability to catch heroes on the inside of a Chrono.
Yeah, it's basically the Phoenix. That's his buddy. I wonder if Void's going for an early Monkey King bar too. He's going for Shadowblade.
Shadowblade for now,
Possibly
yeah.
Silver Edge. Oh, I'm not a huge fan of the Silver Edge. It's like not super cost efficient. Other than you have the break against PA, but even then, like the stats you get from it, it's not that great.
You feel like the Silver Edge is better for the gold you're spending
Over what?
over the Sorry.
Oh, the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like
Yeah, that's what I
you
mean,
would
the
probably
MKB,
just
yeah,
want to
yeah.
go for the MKB
Yeah, yeah.
instead, because you get all the damage from it too, right? Like you get the plus damage and then the
Yep.
magic damage too against a hero who has really high armor. And the Void Bash. Well, actually, the Void Bash, you could proc the MKB again, 75% chance. So it's going
There
to
we
proc
go.
again, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
So fast Blink Dagger, Ice. He's not on board with these bracers and whatnot. No vanguards, no tanking up. He wants the fast Blink. He wants.
I think
to
that's like the
start
only
making plays.
situation where we don't see the bracers is when somebody rushes Blink as an offlane.
This is maybe like a new 7.20 patch thing too, because this is not Centaurs in the old patch.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, he has also not decided to take any of the points and retaliate, which I think makes sense. The Hoof Stomp now scaling up, not really that much in terms of the stun duration, as Lina is just dead. Okay, no Chrono used, no necessary.
He just bashed. Time dilate.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
With Lina being dead, they know if
Radiant's
Fnatic
bottom
pushes
tower
this
is
tower,
under
they're going to have to
attack.
commit a lot.
This is bold. Can they kill him off in time? Not gonna happen. The banishment comes out though, and he is just gonna be able to pop the ulti. Meanwhile, the Supernova off on the side. They're trying to take it down. Can they get it in time? Yes, they will. Razor brings down the egg. They're not able to find the Chrono, and just like that, the team fight is fallen apart. They still have MP moving into position. They want to see if they can bring down this Brewmaster, but hit the lift up there onto TA, and now Ice tries to find it. They get the Chronosphere able to catch now onto Brew. Light Strike Ray not quite going to hit there as MP able to dodge away, but still the Brew lives, and they're forced to back out.
That was a bit of a misplay from Fnatic killing the Earth Panda. Just allowed the Wind Panda to go invis and just run a little bit farther away that they couldn't kill him. He was just a little too far.
Brewmaster surviving when he's so close to this Radiance. He's a pretty happy camper right now.
Yeah. The next fight's not going to be so easy. We saw the Radiance yesterday, how effective it is when you get it this early in the game. Like the Midas Radiance timing, like a 18-minute Radiance, the damage is just
Radiant's
so
bottom
much
tower is
these
under
fights.
attack.
This is tough. You can tell that like this is going to be a really strong timing with them too, because you're going to have the. Oh, it looks like BKB straight up for the Razor. They just want to go. Are Fnatic going to be able to deal with that pressure coming out? It's only a little bit less than 1,000 gold lead. But time will tell. And I don't know, I feel like the Boom ID lineup might scale better too.
Yeah, I think with this new Brewmaster build we're seeing seems to get really scary as the game goes on. PA is, it's PA. This hero scales incredibly well as the game drags, so I kind of agree overall.
New Razor too. Maybe with the slow, this hero actually scales a little bit better.
It's funny, that was a patch that happened so long ago, but like we just never saw Razor, so it's hard to know how that hero really looks.
I think it's actually pretty good in the late game, the Razor hero.
Yeah.
Just the damage deal. If you go for the damage deal talent too,
Right.
it just nullifies the TA. It's like an anti-carry.
Hello, MP? There's a Razor. I don't think you're going to be able to bring that guy down.
Dire's middle tower is
God.
under attack.
Removed.
Good lord.
All right, well, that's still a thing. I
Yeah.
did decide to go back for the Deso instead of the MKB for Abed.
I think the Deso's just so good in this game. Like, in general, not even just in this game. The fact that it still reduces, what is it, 7 armor?
Yeah.
And it was actually buffed, right? It was like 6 armor in the last patch. And it was buffed to 7, but with the armor calculations now, it's 7 is more than 7 before.
Dire's middle tower
Didn't
is
mean to
under
rhyme that
attack.
one, but in any case,
What is this? 7 is greater than 7?
it is.
North American maths going
It is
on
if
here.
you're at 7.20.
There we go.
Lots of 7s.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
So 7.20 is really a greater number than 7.20.
Well,
Exactly.
that's a Chronosphere dead, and, well, they're also going to lose the Lich. Lina was able to escape with her life. But we do have Fervian Battle Fury online.
I don't know how you guys feel about this hero, but every time I play against PA, he just has a BKB Battle Fury. And I walk into a fight, and it's like, there's no way this guy's going to kill me. He has a BKB Battle Fury. That's a defensive item and a farming item.
Right.
And then he one-hits me, and then I think I'm never picking Pudge again.
You know,
There's your problem. You're playing Pudge.
maybe that's the issue.
I don't know. This hero seems really, really good.
She does so much damage now.
Gonna go for the Yasha, it looks like. I'm curious which one of these talents she goes for. It feels like, okay, Armor Corruption.
Thing with the armor corruption versus the cleave is that the armor that you reduce. Okay, I'm thinking about it because the way that cleave works has changed now. But
Yeah, it's less good.
in any case, like the armor reduction would be included in the cleave before anyway. So that's what people would. That's what people would. That's how people would justify before. It's like, well, you're getting the cleave, right? But you're cleaving for more because you have armor reduction. But I'm not sure how it works now. How the armor reduction.
All
How the
right.
cleave works with the armor reduction.
Chase is on, but Stampede is also there to get him out.
Bruce split for a
Okay.
bounty rune.
Probably doesn't even feel that terrible for Boom ID. They're I guess they're starting to fall behind after those last couple of kills, but
Radiant structures.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
that's a
God.
big kill.
Jeez.
I'll
He's
bet,
trying to
I'll
get
bet
to
has
the
this
BKB.
one on his shoulders firmly.
It's looking that way.
And Fervian now, they're moving, trying to get him out. They jump forward. MP does not have Chronosphere, but did get the time dilation, trying to make room for Abed to just hunt away and kill off all of these heroes. Triple kill across half the map, and might even be able to find another one. I'm going to take it over instead onto MP, but it all fell apart. This is a 4,000 gold lead all of a sudden. The heck?
This is the Abed show, man. It's just running around one-hitting people with the TA. I think, I mean, like you said, like Boom ID was okay with the fact, they're maybe okay with the fact that they're using the split, as long as no fighting is happening. So I do think they have very strong mid to late game heroes. They scale really, really well, but the moment Fnatic chooses to start fighting you after you've wasted split is the moment you can't waste split anymore. You know, like the earlier ones didn't matter that much because Fnatic weren't really fighting, just going for pickoffs. But now, like, Abed shows up and just kills 4 of your heroes.
Has fallen to the radiant.
It's
And
a problem.
they're anticipating that this PA is going to be in the area. If they pick off Fervian right here, this is going to get real bad, and they are going to break their smokes. They realize that he's in the area, but not anticipating the movement. Fervian shows there for a moment. They're bringing in the Lich as well. Can they get him? Doesn't look like it.
One thing I do gotta say for Boom ID is, like, the later this game goes, the better the Lich gets for their draft. Just because it's TA and Faceless Void versus a hero that reduces the damage, the physical damage you take by 60%. Like, no amount of armor reduction will change the fact that that is 60%, you know? No amount of armor, like, it doesn't matter. It's literally just a flat 60% damage reduction, physical. So the later and later this game goes, the more and more damage Void and TA are going to do physically, and the better Lich is going to be. That 60% is going to mean a lot more.
Maybe we'll start to see some more HP sort of on these heroes too. Like Razor, for all we talked about the power of the Wraith Band, still needs to get that BKB. Get a little bit more HP pool.
He's very, very squishy. He needs some armor too. Just because, like, the Lich isn't always necessarily going to be there to save you, especially when you have like a PA Brew that keeps using split. People you need to save.
Well, if they get Abed, there's no way. Thought they might have had the blink on Brewmaster, but it's not been able to build it yet.
Here are some of these BKBs coming out on both sides now with Razor and Void. Curious to see what the teams prioritize now they have these BKBs.
I think, to be totally frank, if you're Boom ID, you just want to take a fight where you actually get a good split off. And probably where you start the fight. But then again, they don't really have any heroes to start the fight, speaking of which.
That's just not a good thing.
Something Fnatic had no problems with starting these fights.
That's why
fast blink dagger.
That's why he rushed the blink.
Yeah.
You know, when we talked about it yesterday, when you're in one of those games where, like, the fight depends on who starts the fight, of course, like, a fast blink is going to be super effective.
Nice Wraith brands, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice stun.
and they can't do anything. They're just waiting there. Jump forward. Chrono wanted both of them. They popped the BKB.
Okay.
Chase down. They're all dead.
PA just died solo to the TA on the side of that fight.
Yeah, that was like
Where's
a
the damage
two-shot.
coming from?
It's an MKB done for Abed.
Oh, he finished the MKB.
He finished when he went to Roche Pit. This guy is so far.
Good lord. I was worried about this PA being a problem, but Abed doesn't care. He's just ending his life in 2 hits.
Yeah. With this MKB now, the damage is just there, and they can have a field day. The PA is completely fallen off after the strong start, and it's Abed who's just getting out of control.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Force staff now too, just maximum mobility.
Dire's
Armor
middle
reduction, the
tower
meld armor
has
reduction,
fallen.
that is another talent that is
Dire's
made better by the
structures are
new armor
Dire's
calculations.
bottom tower
The
is
same
under
as it was
attack.
before, except armor is better. So a lot of these heroes got very lucky with their armor reduction that they have.
Oh, I wanna
Wasn't
see if it was
changed.
a 1 or a 2 shot.
Oh, the Lina has.
Dire's
What do you
middle
do if you're a
tower is
support
under
Lina in this
attack.
game against a PA or against a TA that's just one hitting you?
You just cry a little bit.
So like, hope for the best.
I think you weep softly.
Yep.
Like, it's tied 5 times. It's pretty rough.
Just going for the Ghost Scepter now. I think that's the play, but unfortunately it looks like the game is probably going to end before he even gets to the Ghost Scepter.
I don't even know if that, like, I think that there legitimately might be times where you get one shot. Like, if you get a crit on the TA.
Dire's top tower
Or just an
is under
MKB
attack.
proc.
Right.
Yeah. That's a rough life. Just a straight force staff on Abed, not finishing the Hurricane Puck. He's just going for BKB next.
They sense their timing is coming up.
Never mind. He's going for it.
Yeah.
He feels so strong. BKB is kind of like if the game is even. This doesn't feel very even.
It does feel like Boom ID going for all of these items that are sort of good for them in the
Dire's
late
top
game, but they're
tower
just
is
not
under
going to get
attack.
there. The Battle Fury, you've got the Radiance on the Brew. The only one that really itemized to try and deal with things and fight right now is this Razor, and he kind of can't really do that. Even though he's sitting on 27 armor, it's not enough.
The problem is they could have fought earlier. They could have gotten into the late game with these items that they have, but the Panda, like, misusing the ulti so many times actually came into effect. Like, it's funny and it happens, you know, but it was like one too many times. You do that in a couple of fights and they're going to take advantage of you. You know, they're going to fight when it's down. They're going to go on you after and kill 4 of you. They're snowballing TA.
All right, well, Aegis is down, but still Fnatic feeling comfortable walking high ground here with Abed, and they're just going to be able to take down the tower. Ice. Trying to bait out an ulti.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Just a lot of discipline from Fnatic. Even losing the Aegis, they know they can stick around, poke at the tier 3, get it, fall back, and now go for Shrines.
Yeah, despite having such a huge gold lead, they still...
I mean, it's all on Abed, right?
Look-
Like, you
Yeah.
look at Centaur's farm
That's
right
it.
now.
Look at the 3 and 4 position for Fnatic. They've kind of swapped.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I wanted.
I saw this Radiance come up. I'm like, whoa, Phoenix. Is that 3 position? No, that's DJ. They've just kind of allocated their farm in this way intentionally, really. Like, your Centaur rushed to Blink just to be an initiator.
I think it's good.
Okay, and there's just going to be the
No split.
Chronosphere. Nothing doing. No answer. They're going to try and run away. He's still in a good bit of damage, but they can't stay on top of Abed. Even though the Phoenix is dead, I don't know if that's going to stop them from going further forward. Abed finds another kill.
Oh, Lich casted the thing on himself. That's not
Sinister Gaze. Nope. Force staff, chase forward. Triple
shot.
kill for Abed. Etogiki.
Yeah.
It's at the point where Boom ID has such a huge net worth mountain in front of them that in order to win these fights, they need to play exceptionally well.
no.
Like there can't be any misplays, misclicks, people being out of position, nothing like that.
I feel like Razor can't really be here that effectively.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about getting blinked
see.
on. Don't maintain the vision or he would have got some more right clicks off, but...
I really like the fact that Centaur is playing as kind of the forward, just because like,
Dire's top barracks
What is it?
has fallen.
would you rather a Phoenix farming and a Centaur running around, or a Centaur farming and a Phoenix running around? Like the Centaur can do so much more this game, despite being in a
Dire's top
higher farm
shrine
priority
is under
position.
attack.
They just understand that he can give so much more space on the map if he's the one running around and fighting. That he does it. Like that's not something you'll see a lot of teams do at
Dire's
all.
top shrine
Just because
has
they
fallen.
stick to the roles, despite like in the game, the Centaur is absolutely better to be the one roaming around.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely worked out for him here, and they're now putting out. I mean, I think part of the reason too is like we were talking about. There isn't anybody that does damage into the Chronosphere besides Void himself and sort of the Phoenix, and now he does a lot of damage into the Chronosphere.
Yeah.
29 minutes in, 24 to 9. It's very appropriate.
This is getting grimmer by the minute
Radiant's
for
bottom tower is
poor
under
Boom
attack.
ID.
What's Razor going for? What is that?
I think it's a
Is it a
Yule's.
Void Stone? Getting Yules?
Use that mana regen, man.
You know it's a rough game if you're going for a 29-minute Yules on Razor.
Yeah, that's not
Uh-oh.
normally the third item of choice.
Yeah. I mean, it'll help him take off the time
Dire are
dilation,
scattered.
maybe dodge some of the Phoenix egg
Dire's middle
exploding,
tower
dodge
is
some of
under
TA's
attack.
damage.
Dire's
Thing is,
structures
I
are
feel like it's going to keep him
fortified.
alive for 2 seconds and then he's just going to die afterwards.
And you drop back down and you're kind of almost setting up for your
Right,
opponents half the
exactly,
time.
exactly.
It's not really the best defensive tool.
I
often.
guess what he can
Radiant's
do is he can
bottom
like
tower
drain,
is
and then
under
when they
attack.
press the Centaur ulti, he can Yules and keep draining for 2.5 seconds.
I think the other thing is they don't have any other stuns really besides Lina and like Brew ulti. So that's maybe one of the other thoughts is that if we are chasing and trying to find kills, we need to make sure they can't just TP away from us.
That's true. That's true. It's like a TP cancel, yeah.
But there's a lot of BKBs out also.
Does give him the movement speed as well. Still, you know, you'd hope that at this point your Razor has some Aghanim Shiva bullshit and he's just destroying everybody, you know.
I think it's fair to say the game did not go the way Boom ID wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from the very first blood, it was just like, okay, this TA is going to have a good time mid, and then TA wins mid lane against the last pick Razor. Like they picked that as their solution to the mid lane, and
To be fair, he did just jungle on TA. It's like it got more CS and more farm, but it wasn't the jungle.
Yeah.
But that's the way to respond to this. Like why give them why play into their hand? Why let them just destroy the TA and TA gets
Dire's
nothing? You can just
bottom
have TA
shrine
get something
is
and then
under
Razor
attack.
get something. But has it been effective? Not really. Seems like TA is just a better hero than Razor.
Dire's bottom
The
shrine
hero just doesn't.
has
Razor
fallen.
just isn't the same hero if he's behind. That's the thing. He looks weak when he's not snowballing. But this hero plays from ahead.
I think Ice tried to force staff him into his hoof stomp there for a second, realized it wasn't going to work. But the 31-minute Mask of Madness.
This what he was doing there. Okay, he's not doing it anymore, but the fact that he was just standing there, you see that happen a lot in pro games, and that very rarely happens in pubs. Like people just standing around waiting for things to happen, and then people in pubs wonder why like nothing is happening in your games. It's because you're not like waiting for the opportunities. Like you see that so much in tier 1 games where people are just standing in trees, standing on high grounds. And a lot of the time like that, nothing happens. But in the times that it does, it's very, very effective. Like somebody shows up to defend that from a Phoenix. Boom, that's a Chronosphere into Rax.
This is literally the most excited I've ever heard about nothing
Standing around
happening.
doing nothing. Well, the thing is, man, let me tell you, man. I'm trying to understand. Okay, there's a lot of people that complain about things in pubs and whatever.
I'm with you.
Hey, man, can't I be excited about nothing? Come on, man.
We got to find something to talk about. We're just sitting around.
Yeah, they're really letting them build up this big lead, but it's this Roshan, I imagine Fnatic's waiting on.
Oh, yeah.
And this smoke to contest it's going to come too late.
The double damage TA. Of course, the double damage spawns in front of the Roshan when the winning team walks by.
And this is the moment to contemplate what's going to happen to you as you run forward into everybody. And, well, jabs, Chronosphere connects onto both of them. There are 3 caught in this one. Aeon Disc about to wear off. Can they kill them all in time? Abed jumps forward. Supernova down as well. It's going to stun 2. Maybe find more afterwards. Fervian can't quite do it. This is a problem. Abed's going to kill you off, and he still has the Aegis after the fact. Jump forward. Ice finds the stun. Gets the secondary kill. Godlike spree coming out, and, well, the Yules.
There's the Yules.
GG.
There's the death.
Ooh.
Man, Abed just steamrolled through them this game on that TA.
That's why this guy was the first person to 10k MMR.
Well, that's a controversial one.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Depends who you ask.
Who was it that fed him?
It was Sam. Bulba.
Oh, it was Bulba, right.
Of course it was Bulba.
Of
It's
course
always
it was
Bulba.
It is.
They were teammates at the time. He's like, I gotta boost my teammate up, get in the first 10k MMR.
does make you wonder. I've heard some things lately about boosting, not related to Abed, but
that was not. It was not like a boosting. It was like a. I'm gonna mess.
How do you boost
It was
somebody
a.
to
I'm gonna
10K?
mess around a bit because he's on the other team.
Are
Like
you on Abed's payroll? What is this?
I mean, I don't know. It's like, yeah. Oh my God, he's got to 9.7.
In any case,
he's very good at Dota.
he's very good. He's very, very good.
16-0-5, 818 GPM. Yeah, it's not bad. I like the idea too of having like that support go mid. If we're talking about that again, if you can go out and stack up camps at the same time, because that's what made that, I think, viable more so than other things too.
For sure, because then there's not that like lack of experience. You're both just taking a mid lane of experience. Like, you actually get the jungle camps as well. And the great thing about it is he wants to leave the Razor lane anyway, so the Shadow Demon just goes there and soaks the lane. Razor comes in, drains his damage. You're imprisoned. I'm just gonna steal the CS that TA would otherwise be getting. You okay there, buddy? I'm putting him to sleep. But it's good. It's good for both.
I need my tea.
He's cosplaying Jack.
I haven't had
right
my
now.
tea
That's
this morning.
what's happening. I was like, hello? All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have game number 2 coming up right around the corner. Stay tuned. Fnatic versus Boom ID. Southeast Asian qualifiers are after this.